The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this, you have the power to revoke at any moment. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be, or be one. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose very presence calls forth your best. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The deeper the feeling, the greater the pain. But then you get to a point where the deeper you go, the more balanced you become. You realize it's all impossible to feel. Man is troubled not by events, but by the meaning he gives them. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. When force of circumstance upsets your equanimity, lose no time in recovering your self-control and do not remain stumbling over what has gone before. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Whenever you're about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question. What fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I'm about to criticize? There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. To accuse others for one's own misfortunes is a sign of want of education. To accuse oneself shows that one's education has begun. To accuse neither oneself nor others shows that one's education is complete. If virtue precedes all else, nothing can be truly good which compromises virtue. Life's journey is not to arrive at the grave safely in a well-preserved body, but rather to skid in sideways, totally worn out, shouting, "Holy cow, what a ride!" We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Because your own strength is unequal to the task, do not assume that it is beyond the powers of man. But if anything is within the powers and province of man, believe that it is within your own compass also. He who indulges empty fears earns himself real fears. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. The universe is transformation, our life is what our thoughts make it. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. All cruelty springs from weakness. If you don't know what harbor you are making for, no wind is favorable. Until we have begun to go without them, we fail to realize how unnecessary many things are. We've been using them not because we needed them, but because we had them. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. A person's worth is measured by the worth of what they value. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Sickness is a hindrance to the body, but not to the practice of virtue. It should not affect our resolution then, because that remains free to contemplate all that may befall it, and derive therefrom fresh motives for perseverance. And what really frightens and perverts people is not the realization that they are not in control, but rather the notion that they once had been, and then lost it. It's the duty of all thinking beings to constantly evaluate values, both present and future. We should not look down on anyone unless we are faultless ourselves. The good life is a process, not a state of being. It is a direction rather than a destination. Do not disturb yourself by picturing your life as a whole. Do not regard troubles en masse, but one by one. Remember that pain has this most excellent quality: if prolonged, it cannot be severe, and if severe, it cannot be prolonged. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Start each day with a grateful heart. What man actually needs is not a tensionless state, but rather the effort and struggle involved in progress. He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man. Freedom is secured not by the fulfilling of one's desires, but by the removal of desire. The essential thing is to attend to the motions of our own minds. If a person gave away your entire body to someone else, you'd have no cause for anger against the receiver of the favor. There is nothing the busy man is less busy than living. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Think about it always. Everything has two handles, one by which it can be borne and one which it cannot. Let no act be done without a purpose, nor otherwise than according to the perfect principles of art.